Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. No, anytime someone compliments my cameraman's mustache, you're a good person in my book. Congrats on Smokefall.
Thanks very much.
This is such a cool production. What was the creative impetus behind it? What made you want to tell the story about family, love, passing things on through the generations?
Sure. Well, let's see. So I grew up in the town called Grand Rapids, Michigan, where the play is set, which is back in the day. I'm 37 now, so in like the 80s and 90s, it was just a piece of shit. It was boring, like very conservative, not fun at all. I think we have the highest per capita church of churches in America, and the highest per capita consumption of Jell-O. Right? It's just kind of
How two random facts.
yeah, but you get it, right? It's just like, okay, I get it. And it's a little bit Fargo, like a little bit Anyway, I worked really hard to get out of there. I went to fancy college, fancy grad school, and I lived in New York a long time. And about 5 years ago, I moved home, and under circumstances that were not my choice. And so my mom kind of saved me. And so, you know that thing where you say, I don't know how to repay this favor?
Yes.
So this is it. This is my attempt. I'm dead serious.
I was talking to Ann about this, and first of all, you have a terrific cast here in New
Yeah.
York, but it's now the third production you guys
Yeah.
have done. Each time you've used a different cast.
Sure.
Tell me about, do you walk into each production and look for different elements? Do you say,
Oh, sure.
all right, I want this cast to bring this certain quality while the other cast brought another quality?
Well, you got to let it happen. I mean, you can't force that stuff. By casting the people that we've cast, they will, bring their natural joie de vivre. But you have to reimagine. It's not trying to recreate. You got to pretend it's a totally new thing. Because if you have the hangover of how other people have done it, then it's not going to be fun. Like, oh, they got that joke, or they read it that way. So if that's in your head, you got to forget it all. And for me personally, since I'm a living playwright, I like to write stuff, particularly for the specific company I have. And so, like for instance, Julia, her mom in Israel back in the day was in a sketch comedy group. So
random.
Right. And so just a little line is in a long speech she has. She said, I spent a couple seasons in a sketch comedy group in Tel Aviv, which no one would know, doesn't matter at all, but it's just her, because of her. And people have different vocal inflections and idiosyncrasies, so I try and help them with the lines to make it sound more natural.
Does a lot of reworking happen in between each production?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there was a lot today. Yeah.
So it just continues to evolve each and every production.
Totally. Hopefully getting better, maybe worse. I don't know.
Being in New York, obviously, the mecca of theater, what does it mean for you?
Well, when one grows up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and at the age of 17, out of the blue, having no creative bone in my body, I went to school for philosophy or physics. And I decided at age 17 I was going to do this, and I'd never really seen a professional play. I saw my brother in like a high school play once. And I was not in the theater, I was not an artsy kid, and I just decided to do it and put myself on a course of study, private. I had no idea how to do it, so I started to read a play a day and wrote down what I learned and what I liked and what I didn't, and I continued. And that was years and years and years. Then I started copying them by hand on a typewriter to try and get like the different rhythm. I trained myself. And so now to be here in New York with this, like, it's the fruition of that hope.